Welcome back to NAB 2025. We're here in New York, the Javits Center. I have Laura. We're at Sound Devices. We want to know if you guys have any questions. We have a live chat going on. Make sure you ask those questions. We will get Laura to answer them for you. So without any further ado, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great.
It's been a long time, like February or something maybe?
Yeah, it's like a year or something.
It feels like a year, basically.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so tell us what's going on with Sound Devices, all the new
hey, we're here at NAB NYC, and we're showing off our new stuff. Right next to me, you've got a nice little sound cart. This is a mini cart out of the UK that I've built this 8 Series rig on, and I'm showing off our brand new Waveform display features. So I made a test recording in here, and in here you can see each ISO track is associated with a different color that pertains to that actor. So this is something we introduced this year, just a couple months ago, with version 11 for the 8 Series. You know, if you know and love the 8 Series, they've been around for a while, but we're not done innovating. Some cool stuff that's available with this Waveform display feature is the fact that you can even solo each track. So say you're doing playback with somebody and you want to figure out, did we get that guy near the tail end of that take? And you can solo that track and immediately see it. It gives you that perspective to just jump to that portion of the track. There's a lot of people who are doing playback who requested something like this to just give you a visual aid. So let's say, for example, I do playback. All right, I'm going to go into playback mode right here. I see the bar going across the top. If I want to scrub through that actual waveform, I can hold down my headphones and I can scrub forwards and backwards. I can make cue marks within it, so I can add cue marks and I can delete cue marks. I'm able to jump back and forth throughout the take. So in the midst of that playback, I can use my middle round of encoders to jump around to different sections. It just correlates with however long that take is along the display. It's just something built in there for the 8 Series people who want to see improvements, so we're not done working on it. You can also hide this display. I've mapped it to U1 here on the CL16, so I can just tuck it away like that, bring it back up, and it immediately populates as soon as you do that recording. So, you know, even if it was like a 2-hour-long take, once you're done with the recording, you just enable that waveform display, and you'd see the full 2 hours there. You could scrub back and forth, find what you need. It's that simple. Some other stuff, I'll just point out what we've got on our cart. We've got one of our Astral Wireless receivers attached up here to the Scorpio. This is our ARX 8. You may have another name you know it by, but it is now known as the ARX 8. We are classifying our receivers based upon how many transmitters they can do. This one comes as a 4-channel base unit, but it can be upgraded to do 8 channels, and it's connected through this plate with the 8 Series that allows you to go completely cableless right into the top of your Scorpio, 833, or 888. And then I've got all 3 of our transmitter models shown right here. We've got our Astral Mini, which takes a little MP BX1 style rechargeable battery in there. I've got on our boom up there the Astral TX, so that's how I'm doing wireless boom. And that takes our 3.7 volt rechargeable batteries, but also compatible with your lithium primaries that you know and love. And then we've got our handheld hanging out right here. So just saying, hey, what's up? We got any questions coming in that I can answer?
No questions so far in the chat, but please make sure if you have them, drop them in the chat. We want to hear it. We want to make sure we get them answered for you, though. So tell us, what else is new? Because I feel like there's always, what's the popular saying, new and exciting things in the pipeline.
Well, really new and exciting things for us were our big wireless release of firmware, 8.2. We've built a lot of new stuff into that firmware for our Astral users. A lot of it is based around the web app, which we'll get into in a little bit when we set up and move to our stage 2 here of the live stream. Just giving users visibility on things, really. We've built into our RTSA display the option to meter all of your transmitters. So as you look at the carriers on the RTSA, you're also getting a complete meter view with Q and audio levels. So that's been a huge thing for us. And then also the option to put your outposts onto a network of outposts working together for your next link control. So that's that communication protocol between transmitter and receiver. That's how I'm able to power things on and off right from the receiver front panel. So I'll just show you an example of that, because I've got 3 channels that are hooked up right here. If I need to do something like control my boom, I literally just tap into the panel. I've got full control over this transmitter. I can dial in, change the frequency if I want. I can auto-assign the frequency. I can power on and off. Saves a little bit on battery life. Say you got to wire up all your actors and then they go sit somewhere for 3 hours. We know what that's like. Wire them up, power them off, wait till they come back to the set, and you're back in action. So.
Nice. So while we were talking about that, we did get a question in the chat regarding control surfaces for the MixPre 2 series.
For the MixPre. All right.
Anything that Sound Devices is officially approved. I know there's a list.
We do have a list online, and those are ones that we have tested that we confirm work. Now, you might be able to plug in some USB control surfaces and see they work a little bit, but the ones that are on our list are the ones that we've actually put through the ringer in terms of compatibility with our products. Okay. So I believe that's like the Akai MIDI Mix.
Yeah, the Akai MIDI Mix.
Korg Nano Control,
which is wireless and Bluetooth, which is very cool. We have one of those in the Atlanta shop. If you want to do a demo, please ask. Come down and check us out. We will get that to you. And I believe there's another one from Akai that's a different fader version, basically, or more knobs, essentially. So.
Yeah, there's a number of them. I think the one that I've mostly used is the Korg Nano Control, which is like really small form factor for you if you're working in a tight space.
Absolutely. So we will absolutely put a link down there in the chat for you, Mr. Pendergrass. So thanks. Great question. So is there anything else that we want to talk about, get a little bit more into the Nexus, perhaps?
You know, I think, yeah, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit more. I can just kind of give you a little brief overview of that stuff if you want. I know Cody's going to have a chat with you.
Yeah. Let's segue into Cody. So give us a brief overview of the Nexus and what to expect with that and how you can deploy that.
So essentially what we're doing with the Astral Wireless products is we're making it the most simple job for someone who is, you know, a little unfamiliar with the world of RF. We know things can be challenging. We know we're working in harsh environments. We know that the frequencies available to us are always changing. So that's something that's kept in mind with this whole series, that it can live with you the same way that our 8 series products live with you as you build your career. So if we go into the menu here, I'll just show a bunch right on this receiver since we're standing right next to it. This is our front panel menu option. You can see I've kind of got all these app-like features to let me know what menu I'm jumping into. Built into all of our Astral receivers, we have this RTSA right in the product. That's giving me a live view of the floor we're working on right now. The things highlighted in orange, these are my carriers. Those green little bumps, those are carriers of other people that happen to be in this room that we're taking a look at. So if I want to check out what's going on, I can change the tuning band, and as I scroll through the bands, you can live see kind of what environment we're seeing in this room. What you're seeing on screen here where it says TV26, that is a new feature that's built into 8.2. We've built the option for it to show you what TV channels are near you so you don't place your transmitters within that TV channel. As I scroll through these, you'll see they change. There's TV29. But again, it's just visibility wherever you are. You know, if you are familiar with location scouts, going out and doing an RF test before you show up to set, and then as soon as you arrive, oh wait, something's turned on that wasn't turned on before, this gives you the visual on it to know, hey, I have that scan from the previous day, now I'm looking at today, something's different, we can figure out what it is. And not put our transmitters there. So.
Speaking of things not being there, we have a question about waveform display, and will that ever come to any mixers, specifically themselves?
So the one question you're going to run into with putting it on the display of the 8 series is real estate, because you kind of have a limited screen there. So as it is right now, the way that it's been built, it's designed for the CL16. So, and I will not make any guarantees past that at this point.
So you know what everyone's saying in the chat.
Yeah, they're like, no, dude, what are we talking about?
Well, they're saying iPad. How can we implement this with an iPad?
So one common feature that we've heard about the 8 series is being able to output the display. Because, we know, people get old, eyes don't work as well. You know, so we just need to have that screen a little bit bigger. And I'll say this, we're a company that absolutely values feature requests, and we often rank them based upon how many people request them. So, if it's extremely important to a lot of people, we absolutely take a look at it. I think most people know that based upon how we roll out our products. So
I can attest to that. I have been single-handedly putting control surface requests for MixPres in the chat since, 2019 probably. So help me, guys, help me. Anyway, so is there anything else that we have in terms of the Astral lineup that we want to segue before we get into some more RF
I think just really the one
conversations?
thing to emphasize is, hey, this is now known as the ARX 8, and you've got an ARX 16 and an ARX 32. So remember, channel count. They're based upon the channel count they're able to do. So welcome to Astral Wireless.
All right. So we're going to do a quick swap over here to Cody and talk a little bit more on the RF capabilities of the Astral Wireless system. Cody, how are we doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, man. Thank you for
Fantastic.
talking with us today. We really appreciate it. So give us a little bit on the, not a little bit, but a nice gloss rather, on the RF capabilities and how we can deploy this, how we utilize this Astral Wireless system within a location sound, avenue, excuse me.
Yeah. So with the ARX 16, which is our half rack space unit right here, we had really frequency agility in mind with this entire product. No matter what medium we're doing, whether we're ENG, whether we're location, whether we're concert, spectrum has always been a challenge. And so being able to have a receiver that covers 169 to 1525 allows you to have to not worry about challenges within the spectrum when you're trying to do the rest of your job. Most of our techs are not doing just wireless, right? We all have 100 jobs we're doing on set, on site, on stage. So to make RF a little bit easier and more fun for people to have access to spectrum, to have the tools right in front of them was really kind of the driving factor behind this. And then the NextLink control protocol that we have. So no more after you've spent all that time putting a mic on talent and getting it hidden away, all of a sudden I have to make an adjustment to gain or to frequency or to power. I can do that over our forward control protocol, and that's kind of made life a lot easier for people as well. So those were the two really big things that we kind of thought would really make RF more fun and helpful for people, because those traditionally have been the big pain points.
Nice. So then also, can you tell us a bit about the handheld? You guys have recently released that. I know we're getting a lot of requests and orders coming into the shop for those. So tell us about the control rings, if you don't mind, and just some of the use cases that you've seen for this request, because I know there was one particular performer we could maybe mention or not mention.
Yeah. So the handheld was a really great one. We spent a lot of time looking into use cases with handhelds, looking into pain points, looking into successes. And one of the really big ones was, why don't I have RF anymore? Right? This is the problem that everyone has, and no one really had a good solution for that. And we always run into that, right? Whether it's a reporter, whether it's a performer, whatever we're doing there. And so with our rocket antenna design that we did in this stick, allows us to be able to cover the bottom of this and not have as drastic of an effect on the overall output level of this thing. So now your take, once the reporter goes from here to here, is not a challenge anymore, right? So that was a really big kind of fun part of this handheld. Also just following a wide range again of 470 to 1525, so now you don't have to worry about that. Plus the capsule configuration. Our capsule configuration can be Shure or Sennheiser ring sets, so now you don't have to worry about having an adapter on site. And then to your point with our control rings, so we've got 3 different versions of control rings here. Excuse me. So we have a switch, we have 3 buttons, and we have 1 button. And what's great about these is I can just simply pull this ring off and put any one of these on this handheld. Now the cool thing about these buttons or switches is that they can be anything I want them to be. So we can get super creative in making any sort of workflow a little more automated. So maybe today on set, this needs to be an aux route to a producer. So I can turn this mic off to my main recorder and just have a discrete talkback to a producer. Or maybe this needs to be an audio mute. Or maybe I need to fire a macro command on a console. Anything that I want to do with these buttons is capable, and because we have the NextLink protocol, I can change this button over the air. So maybe for one take, this is actually a momentary latch, and on the next take, this is a talkback route. So we really wanted to be flexible with that, and these rings are really, really cool to be able to, again, kind of automate and make workflows a lot more efficient for people.
Yeah, so one thing I truly appreciate is when the manufacturer makes a product that caters to the customer in a way that it is adapted for the workflow. So that's a big thing for me. I feel like I sell workflow. So when I see things like this, I just have to kind of shout it out. So
oh, thank you, man. It means a lot.
It's really nice to see.
Yeah.
So then, is there anything else that we've got coming down the pipeline in terms of the Astral lineup? I know, well, I'm not trying to give it away, but.
No, I mean, we just came out with 8.2 firmware. We're always looking at our next steps in hardware and having a lot of fun. So I think if you are listening to the, rumor mill, there's a lot of great products on the market and a lot of great products that are about to come on the market. We'll talk about more of those maybe on the next trade show.
Okay.
Or the one after that. We'll see.
So while we're waiting for that trade show to come along, we do have another question, and they would like to know, is there any chance of a solution for recording on transmitters when in the RX2 or an 833 workflow? They would love to have something to record while being able to run multi-brand bags.
So simultaneously or just one or the other?
I would think just one or the other.
One or the other. Yeah, so with the workflow that we've got now over the air, you can actually take these because we have a slot for micro SD cards on our handheld and our belt pack, and then on our mini, it's actually an internal recorder. You can make that a recording device over the air. So you can on the fly change that from a transmitter to a recorder whenever you so choose. So if you needed a backup or some sort of adjacent recorder from your mixer recorder, you've got that ability direct at the source. Did that help answer the question?
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on.
Great.
I want to make sure that. Okay, and then that would also be with the caveat of addressing the issue when Bluetooth range is too far.
Bluetooth, what's that?
So.
Did we see the IP extender? Have we seen this guy yet?
Right here? Yeah, so this is our Outpost. And so what this does is this extends our next link coverage. So predominantly, you've always had these local antennas on either your ARX8, ARX16, or ARX32. And so natively, you get that next link control to these transmitters just with those. But now with our Outpost, these have a CAT cable connection on the bottom, as well as an SFP, so you could put it on a fiber optic network. And now what we can do with that is go ahead and have a control protocol, maybe in a dressing room, or a broadcast truck, or a B stage, maybe another room in a reality series house, right? So we can make that next link coverage for this control protocol go additionally anywhere we want.
You need it, yeah. Which is great for prep work. You can have communication when the actors are coming into on set. So there's a lot of beautiful ways to implement these protocols. So anything else that you'd like to tell us about in terms of
that? I mean, so we just released our 8.2 firmware, which is a few really exciting things. The big predominant one has been over-the-air firmware updates now. So you can update our transmitters over the air with this new 8.2 firmware update. The other one was extending how many of our outposts can exist on a control network. So before, it was either one outpost or your local antennas. And this applies to all of our receivers. Now you can have up to 8 outposts as well as your local Nextlink antennas, all on one control network. So that really has allowed for a huge amount of flexibility and something we've been hearing a lot of requests for. So we're very, very happy to be able to put that one out now in this latest firmware update.
Nice.
And then our RTSA screen got a little bit of an upgrade here. So now you'll notice this is a carrier, and this is my microphone that's live right now. But we also have Q and audio meters as well as battery that show up on the RTSA screen. Yep. And so we've got that as well as exclusion groups. So now I can go ahead and add exclusion groups on my auto assign, so I can, try to work around an appropriate band plan. And then one of the other really fun things that we've got in this new version is a TV finder. So when we click this, and I'm not in a range that I want to be, but what the TV Finder will allow you to do now is it will automatically find DTV stations and label them for you so you know what you need to work around, right? So again, no matter what medium you're using our system in, we really wanted to help the user have a lot more fun with RF. Give them the tools.
I really appreciate that. One of the things is the update over air, because previously you had to connect via the USB-C cable.
Correct, yeah. So you would hook up a transmitter by a USB-C cable to your computer, and you would drop a file onto the local storage, where it required an SD card to be in either the handheld or the TX. Now, as long as your receiver is on current 8.2 firmware, you can take all of your transmitters and just push a firmware file to all those transmitters.
So it's batch uploadable as well.
You can do batch updates, yeah.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yep.
So coming from someone who's updated 820s
Yeah. We wanted to help with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then just the last one, just kind of a fun thing. Because we have such a wide range of antennas and that the transmitters cover, we now have an antenna frequency range length tool. So it will tell you the length that you need to cut your antenna down to support the operating range that you want on your A20TX or your A20 Mini.
That's amazing. Yeah, touche. That's amazing. I'm almost speechless, honestly. That's really cool, because when you're out in the field and you just need to get something in the band, yeah. I'm curious, can you show me just another size? I just want to see it on the LCD, if you don't mind.
Oh, the antenna tool?
Yeah.
So what we do is we just go in here and we tell it what range we'd like to operate in.
There you go.
And then let's say 470 to 548. Now it's actually to scale, so we could put an antenna up to this and then know how to cut it, right?
And that's all on SMA Con in terms of that the visual. Very cool. So let's check the chat one more time. And we do have a follow-up in terms of the recording solution. So they were looking to know if that was something coming in the future specifically for transmit recording for boom situations.
Gotcha. Yeah, as far as transmit and record goes, it's still one or the other for us right now. We definitely, respect that whole situation. So that's either transmit or record within the United States.
So those are the only current options where you can control that and either put it in record or transmit mode.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, looks like we're about it on the questions. But if you do have any more questions, put them in the chat. We'll make sure that Laura or Cody get these and we get answers to you. So if you have any other questions or suggestions, make sure you email us at info@gothamsound.com. We will see you very soon. We're going to take a quick lunch break, and we'll see you soon.